Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of the You're Not Done Yet podcast. Well, your purpose is just moments away, and I am here to help you get there. Y'all, we are in for a treat today on this episode. So excited to be interviewing this young lady about her leap of faith of taking that step and moving and making a successful move in that and just honing in on what it is that she was told to do, what she's meant to do, and she's taking it step by step. So, if you could introduce yourself, Miss Autumn, and tell people what you do, we'll hop right on in.
Okay, so my name is Autumn, and I have a business. It's under my name, Autumn C Artistry, and I do eyelash extensions, and I also teach aspiring lash artists and create digital content and courses for service-based beautypreneurs. I have a studio here in Austin, Texas. I used to live in Tallahassee, and I used to work from my home, so I moved
Yeah.
and then I started here, and it's been amazing. Like the whole experience, just how my life is transformed, like in a year's time, has been just amazing.
Yeah, so honestly though, Autumn, what was that transition like for you? What made you get up and say, I'm gonna take that leap of faith and I'm gonna move and go build a life somewhere else?
Well, I think living in Florida for as long as I had at that time, I grew up a military kid, so I was used
Okay.
to traveling a lot of places, but Florida was the
Yeah.
place that I've lived for the longest. And I love to travel, I love to try new things. So I felt like in my heart that I was just itching to try something new, to do something new.
Yeah.
And I always knew I wanted to move to Austin, specifically back in 2017 when I went to visit for a girls' trip. We did a
Yeah.
road trip, and I went to visit one of my friends in San Antonio, and she took us to Austin. And I had already heard about Austin before, about it being like a place for creatives and people. Like it's like a very weird city. Like it's so many. It's kind of
Yeah.
hippie, but that's like
Okay.
very eccentric. And I was like, okay, well, I want to check it out. So we came down, and it was just everything that I knew that it would be, and it just felt like it was a calling that I needed to be here. Like, and at that time, I did not even do like eyelash extensions for my business like permanently. I had already took a class, but I wasn't not even doing it at the time. I just knew that
Yeah.
I wanted to move there, and so when the time came, I started to well, after 2020, like the pandemic, like I felt like I
Yeah.
would not be able to move because it was just, the timing and all. But
Yeah.
and I had already started my business at the time, so I was already working from home, and so it was already a big leap of faith doing that in itself, and just to be self-employed, just really going for it. But
Yeah.
as soon as like the pandemic started clearing up a little, I was like, I'm gonna just try like to go out there for a few days and see how that is. And then I just put up a flyer one day, and then before you knew it, like I was traveling like back and forth, and I did that like through 2021 for about 7 to 8 months. I did it every month. Would come out,
Yeah.
take my clients here and build a name for myself. Still kept my clients in Florida, and I just knew it would never be the right time. It's never
Yeah.
really the right time, and I was like,
Yeah.
well, I feel like I can do it because I get booked every time I come, and I have consistent clients who would wait for me to come back. So
Yeah.
it was like, I'm gonna just make the leap, and I made the leap, and just from then, like it went like up. Like I ended up hitting like a lot of my goals like very quickly as soon as I like just gave into the fact that
Yeah.
this is what you want to do, and then it's you think it's going to be hard, and it is sometimes, but the hardest part is making the decision. And I just
Yeah.
jumped, and like here we are today, like totally different life. So it's been amazing, honestly.
Yeah, so I know honestly too, growing up Quincy, Tallahassee,
Hmm.
a lot of us Floridians are afraid to leave Florida,
Yes.
right? A lot of us are afraid to go after the unknown, go chase something that you know that's inside of you, but you're afraid to do it. But I feel like as well though, if like you said, like you were itching. It was like, I gotta
Yes,
go,
girl.
I gotta go, I gotta go, I gotta go. But then, like you said though, you took the time to prepare though. Like you didn't just up and move to Austin without having a plan. You
Hmm.
were getting booked, like you said, booked every time that you came. So what was that experience though? Like you said, traveling like back and forth for
Oh
seven
my
to 8 months
gosh.
at a time.
It was crazy because towards the end there, like I really started to feel like I didn't know if it was gonna be the right time because it
Yeah.
started out being really good, but at the same time, like I still start towards the end, the last few months, I started breaking like even to where I was paying money to go out there because I was still supporting myself in Florida, plus
Right.
like having to buy a plane ticket, having to get all the things necessary, rent the space, and do all the things. So I realized there, I was like, I'm breaking even. Like it wasn't enough to where I was like, I don't even know if this is like really smart for me to
What you want
actually
to do.
move
Yeah.
because I didn't have any savings at the time. But
Yeah.
it was just to the point where I was like, well, what are you gonna do? Like you just decide. And so I woke up
You.
one day and I was like, I'm gonna get an apartment today. And I just got an apartment that day and I was like, I don't know. I just felt like I just needed to do it. It was just like, and then within a week I was moved, and it was pretty like easy after making the decision. But like I
Yeah.
said, that decision was so hard because I was like, if I don't, make this happen for myself, like I'm like not gonna be able to support myself. I know I could come back,
Mm.
but
Right.
dealing with that part of like failure in my mind, was
Yes.
kind of like that hard thing. So that's why like in I talk about shame a lot being the thing that holds us back, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I had to get rid of the shame that I had attached to, the thing that I wanted, like someone telling me that, what if this doesn't happen and whatnot. It's like I had to let go of
Yes.
all of the what ifs and, just like, well, what if it works out? So, I just
Yeah.
jumped in. I drove all the way here, packed my stuff in a U-Haul, like got up at
Yeah.
1:30 a.m. and I like drove all the way here nonstop. And that was just it. I didn't look back. Girl, when I tell you I was leaving Tallahassee, I did not even look back. I pulled out my
I did not
dashboard.
look back.
I said, I'm not even looking back because I don't even care to see it again. So,
Yes. And honestly though, and like you said, you can always come back, but the point is I'm not trying to come back, right?
exactly.
I took that leap of faith and that leap of faith got me here. So it's gonna sustain me until, God says, okay, all right, your time here was well, it was good, but now it's on to the next assignment. And then I kind of feel like, taking that leap of faith is all in what you make it, right? You can't take the leap of faith and then when you take the leap, now you're regretting it. Now you're like, oh
Yes.
my God, did I do that? Like, did you ever feel like that?
Oh
Like,
my
once you
gosh.
really settle in?
Oh my gosh, it was like I have to commit because I'm like sitting, I got into my apartment at the time I moved in and everything, and all I had was like $700 to my name, and I was like, well, I got a month to make something shake. Like,
Right.
it's like, I'm telling you, like the day that I like moved here, like the next day, like I woke up and I was in tears because I was like,
Yeah.
kind of like grieving like a old life, like even an old identity at the
Yeah.
time, like because like every time you get to the next level you realize that you are someone new to support that
Yes.
vision that you have for this particular point in your life. So I
Right.
went through a lot of like crying for a few days and like I wanted to
Yeah.
stay in bed, but I was like, all right, girl, you got a month to make something shake. Like you're here, and it
What are
just
you
took
doing?
me. It took me a minute to kind of really settle in. Yeah, I went
Yeah.
through the whole thing, cut all my hair off, did all that. Like literally went through a crisis, but
Yeah.
it was kind of like a rebirth for me because like I said, I'm not really um can't really recognize like that part of me like when I lived in Florida. And it's like I
Yeah.
kind of could remember certain things, but I don't remember a whole lot about how I used to be. It's like now this is who I am, this is the way I live my life. And you know it's just
Yeah. And I
it's
love it.
it really is like changing your whole life to support the new vision because everything
Yes.
had to get upgraded in my life. Everything is upgraded now, so it's like I can't
Yeah.
think the same way that I used to think. So,
Yeah, because those old thoughts will lead you back to old habits and old ways that we do not want to go. And that's why I feel like taking that leap of faith, you have to be willing to change your lifestyle. Like you said, it's a lifestyle change. You have to be willing to say, hey,